Once upon a time, there was a boy named Tom. Tom loved to play basketball with his friends, but there was one problem. His friends wouldn't let him play. You see, Tom was very small. He was smaller than all his friends, and they didn't think he could play because he was so different. Every day after school, all the boys would go to the park to play basketball. Tom would go too, hoping that this would be the day he'd get to play. But every day the boys told Tom that he was too small, so Tom would just sit and watch. Tom was very sad. He wanted to be big like the other boys. He hated being the smallest, and every night he made a wish. He wished to be big, but every morning he saw that he was still small. "Why do I have to be different from the other boys?" Tom asked his mommy. "Being different isn't a bad thing," said his mommy. "Being different is good. It means you're special." But Tom didn't feel very special. He just felt sad. The next day, Tom went to the park, hoping that this would be the day the big boys would let him play. But they didn't. They said he was too small. Tom started to cry. He cried and cried until he heard someone else crying too. He opened his eyes and saw one of the big boys had fallen into a big bed of roses. The boy was holding up his hand and pointing into the thorn that was sticking out. "It hurts," cried the boy. "Someone get it out." The other big boys tried to take the thorn out, but their fingers were too big. "If only I had a tiny little fingers," the boy cried. "Then you could help me." The boys looked around. Who had the tiniest little fingers? Suddenly, one of the boys had an idea. "Tom," he called, "we need your help." Tom stood up. "You do?" "Yes, our friend had a thorn stuck in his hand and we need someone with tiny little fingers to take it out." Tom looked at his hands. His fingers were tiny. He could help. So Tom went over to the boys, climbed up on his hand, and used his tiny little fingers to pull out the thorn. "Hooray! You did it!" the boys cheered. Tom was so happy. He ran home to tell his mommy. "See," said Mommy, "being different is a great thing." Is it? Of course, all the other boys are the same size and they couldn't help. But you are different. You're smaller than others. And if you weren't so little, you wouldn't have been able to help your friend. That's true. So are you still sad that you're different? Tom shook his head. No, now I'm happy. You were right. Being different makes me special. The next day after school, all the boys went to the park to play basketball. But this time, they didn't tell Tom he couldn't play. No, this time, something amazing happened. When Tom asked if he could play, they said yes. "We're sorry we didn't let you play before," the big boy said. "We didn't think you could because you were so different. But now we know that we were wrong. There's a lot of things you can do." "Right," said Tom. As he picked up the basketball, he hopped on one of the big boy's shoulder and together they ran up and down the court and made a basket. Swoosh! The big boys never told Tom he couldn't play with them again. And Tom never felt sad about being different ever again. Now Tom felt special and happy because he could do the same things as the rest of the kids, and even some special tricks that they couldn't do. Tom lived happily ever after. The end.